First question is, what is this auto scaling and where we exactly use this? Any thoughts?
In case of resource crunch, it will auto adjust on its own.
In case of resource crunch, exactly. Okay. So the resource crunch, let's pick this. Take a subnet, and what we did in the last session, previous two sessions, imagine I have two web servers, web server 1 and web server 2. What we did, we simply deployed some load balancer and assign task to backend 2 machines. When I say assign task to backend 2 machines means whatever the request that user is, sorry, from the end user, the system is getting, that will hit the load balancer first, and based on the algorithm or based on the round robin fashion, it will assign one request to this, another request to this, third one, and fourth. What do you mean by resource crunch? So in this subnet, only these two machines are currently present. Means, let's say this machine is having 8 GB memory and this machine is having the 8 GB memory. What is the application capacity? Your application is running with 16 GB memory capacity. Now, when I say crunch, the overall average CPU or memory utilization is on the higher side. That means your total memory is 16 GB. When I say 85% or 90% of utilization, that means it is almost like 15 GB utilized or a 14 GB utilized out of 16 GB total capacity. But if that is the case, what you will do? Mhm. There is a resource crunch. What you will do?
We will add memory.
There are two ways to do it. Okay. First thing is we need to understand what kind of crunch it is. When I say what kind of crunch, let's say you are checking a graph for the utilization of these two machines, average utilization of the application. So all the time, 24/7, if a CPU or a memory which is greater than 85% and playing somewhere around this boundary like this, 95 and come. In this case, this is definitely a problem candidate. Means this is definitely a playing between 80 and 90. It is not coming down and it's not going up. In this case, you have to consider adding more capacity. More capacity in the sense there are two ways: horizontal scaling and vertical scaling. You can add web server 3 with the similar capacity and attach to load balancer. This is one way. Or you can increase the size of one server and reboot. Once that is the up, increase the size of another server and reboot. That is how we increase the capacity. In this scenario, these are the two ways that we handle. Either you add a new server or you increase the capacity of an existing server. That we technically call it as vertical scaling and the horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling means you have one server. If it is getting filled up or a resource crunch is observed, add a second one, third, fourth, and so on. You keep on adding the servers. That is what you're saying, horizontal scaling. Vertical scaling means you have a server, reboot and increase with the big server, reboot and restart with the big size. That is how you will supply additional capacity for your application. Now tell me what is this auto scaling then? What additionally the auto scaling will do? So what auto scaling will do? Let's imagine the another scenario. You are seeing utilization is on the higher side, but when you check the graph, okay, morning 9 a.m. it will be at 85%, and evening 5 p.m. it will be at 30%. And again, morning 9 a.m. it goes to 80 or 85, and by evening it goes down. In this case, your your resources, whatever the resources that you have here, they are underutilized in the most of time. Means evening 5 to morning 8, these resources are underutilized, and morning 8 to evening 5, that means one third of your business day, your total 24 hours, you have seen a spike of 85 and above. So in this case, why can't you create some mechanism at 8 o'clock in the morning? It will create a small server automatically, and it will automatically gets added to the load balancer. When, let's say, when the capacity reached 80%, please add this server. Now after 5 p.m., your two servers capacity is reaching to 30%. If you have a third server, obviously the overall capacity will go beyond 30. That means let's say 25. So if overall utilization is dropped down below 30, just a hypothetical example, now automatically remove the one which you have added and go with the flow what we have since beginning. Means these two servers are initially there, you just keep those two servers as it is. When the load is increased, automatically add one machine. When the load is decreased, automatically remove one machine. Understood? Okay, so for this what I will do, i'll have to define auto scaling with these conditions. Whatever the parameters that you're trying to set, with these conditions, I'll have to create a auto scaling group in order to run these kind of business. We'll see how you can do this. I said two machines will be there by default, and third one will be triggered when there is a certain spike. What is this certain spike in real time? Let's say 80 or 85. In our lab, let's say 55. The moment it crossed the 55 and stable at 55 for 1 minute, let's create 5 minutes, let's create the machine. Okay, that means this will automatically come up into the picture, and when the load is decreased, it will automatically go away. One thing you need to understand is this and this are web servers holding some website data. Now you need to make sure you should use image in such a way this image will contain what these servers already holding. That means if these two servers are running a website, same website code you must consider keeping inside this machine. Otherwise, even if you spin up an empty machine, what you will do with that? There's nothing, right? When the load balancer is trying to assign a task or trying to assign a request to this machine doesn't have any web respond on the port 80 or 443. It will never respond. It will sit ideal like a empty machine. So for that, what you need to do, you need to have a proper image configuration. For that proper image configuration only, I have shown you like the previous sessions, the tool which we use to create auto images or auto create the machine images automatically with the little configuration and stuff. This is what we have seen. So recommendation is you must use a custom image with all the default configurations so that you can so that auto scaling can deploy and run the business for you. Okay, how to do that? Let's go to the portal and let me see if I have my default VPC and all. Yeah, we have 3 VPCs. Fair enough. So now what I will do, I will go to EC2. I'll go to EC2, but I will not pick deploy instance like this. I will not pick deploy instance. So I'll scroll down, and if you see auto scaling, there's a option called auto scaling. So you have to go to auto scaling groups, create a auto scaling group. Okay, create auto scaling group. What is the group name? AWS Autoscale Group Demo. Auto scaling templates, I guess I need to create. Let me scroll down and launch configurations. There's nothing. Then auto scaling groups, create an auto scaling group. Switch to launch configuration. Okay, let's try. There are 2 ways to deploy the stuff. They have modified it. AWS auto scaling group demo. Okay. Description web server. C6G medium. Oh my god. No, we can't pick this one. Let me create launch template. Okay, I need to create a launch template so that I will use that launch template and create the auto scaling group. So my demo template. Okay, auto scaling. Provide a guidance to help me to set up template that I use with EC2 auto scaling. Fine. Tags, nothing to worry. Source template, there's nothing, I don't read. Now, what AMI that you're trying to deploy it? What AMI that you're trying to deploy with? Let's go to instances. Ideally, we should use your custom AMI. In my case, what I will do, I will pick this AMI and I will install Nginx inside. Anyway, we know how to create a custom AMI. So what I will do, I'll pick this AMI and instance type T2 micro, key pair, use this key pair, and VPC VPC let me take this VPC1 web server 1 and the security group one which I have created manually, and volume, you need 8 GB volume for your machine, fine, fair enough, and network interface, let it pick the network interface. Network security, network interface and instance level security group cannot be specified together. Okay, fine. And let's check the advanced details. If you want to request a spot instance, up to you. No. Termination protection, no, no, no. So user data is something, this bin bash yeah, so same thing, sudo m update -y, sudo m install nginx -y, sudo m install stress. There is a tool called stress for CPU, artificial CPU spike and all, and sudo service nginx start. These are the few inline commands that I will do it and create a launch template. My launch template has been created. So let's check. These are the launch templates. So what I will do, I will delete the existing dev template, and I have my demo template which I have created. So with this, I can create instance or create auto scaling group, anything. If you want, you can create a standalone instance, or if you want, you can create a auto scaling group. Both are fine. Okay, what I will do, I'll go to auto scaling group, create auto scaling group. What is my auto scaling group? My demo scale group, launch template, whatever the template that I have created, default one or latest one, security group, fine, auto scaling, next. Use the parameters which I have specified inside my template. Okay, and your VPC is this one, and the subnet is web subnet. Okay, under this VPC, under this subnet, next, enable load balancing. What kind of load balancing? auto scaling group 1. I don't have anything at the moment to okay. Let me try once again. I'm just creating it from scratch because I've skipped few of them. Demo, scale group, my template, next, network, select the web server 1, next, what it is saying, enable load balancing, and I've created my target group, and health check type EC2 or elastic load balancer, anything is fine, and enable group metrics collection within the CloudWatch, fine, and group size, what is the desired capacity to minimum capacity to maximum capacity 8, means you are creating a group, how many minimum servers that you want to keep inside your auto scaling group. I said minimum capacity I need 2, and desired capacity at the moment how many you need 2, maximum how many servers that you want to add up to 8, means it will always run with these 2 servers, and whenever there is a demand it will add third one. If there is demand still active, 4, 5 and so on up to 8, that is maximum I can grow, right? And scaling policies, target tracking scaling policy, average CPU, target tracking scaling policy, average CPU utilization, or you have multiple things, average CPU utilization, let's say more than 55%, 60 seconds, it will wait to recalculate once again. So instance need 60 seconds before warm up, before including in a metric, means before it is taking a decision, what it will do, it will keep on watching this utilization whether it is a genuine or not, and then it will take a decision after 60 seconds. Okay, and if protect from the scale in is enabled, newly launched instances will be protected from scale in by default, means let's say you have added a new server, automatically system is adding a new server. When there is a spike, what it will do, it will automatically add a new machine. Okay, it will automatically add a new machine, and it will keep on growing. That means the utilizations keep on increasing. Scale out, that we call it as scale out. Scale in means utilization is keep on decreasing, and you don't want to delete the newly configured instances, you want to delete the old ones, then you can enable scale in protection. Okay, next, add a notifications, next, next, see, I am not adding any notifications. Let me review this. Your scale set temp, your auto scaling template is using this one, and normal instances that we are deploying. We're not taking any spot instances or something, and we're placing this in this particular VPC under this subnet, and they will be get added to this load balancer following the rules. And for decision, detailed CloudWatch monitoring is enabled, and scaling configuration is this, and scaling policy based on the action items what you specified. You want any notifications? No, at the moment. No tags. Create a group. Now just select it. Desired minimum, maximum. Let's see. Started deploying. Activity. Launch instance. Right. So instance management. You have got two instances. Both of them are healthy, it is showing. Now let's pick this instance ID and we'll see. No elastic IP, nothing. Right. I don't have any elastic IP attached or nothing. And key pair is this. So let's go to instances. You will see two servers are running for your auto scaling here. These two servers are under auto scaling. Why it is shutting down? Let me go back to old experience. Yeah, now it is creating few more. The same problem, because initially when you deploy auto scaling, the average utilization itself go beyond the security setting what you have done. What you did, 55% of CPU. How many CPUs that you allocated to this machine? One CPU. When your OS is up and running for a minute, your CPU will go on to 90% or 100% even. So in that case, you see, that's the reason you got two machines deployed and other two machines they are dropped off. This is minimum servers what you have asked for. Let me go back to your scaling groups. Select the scaling group, and minimum servers you asked for 2 and desired 2, maximum 8. When you need a maximum 8, when there is a utilization which is beyond your defined limit. Where is it? Okay, somewhere you see, yeah, edit. These are the capacities.